Hey, we got a story time of a Minecraft kid who actually thought the back rooms were real and had a complete freak out at the sleepover, and it was quite hilarious. So yeah, sit back, relax, leave a like on the video to claim your free nothing, and let's get right into it. I got today's story from a subscriber who we're going to call John, and I got the name John from the comment section down below. So as always, if you want me to use your name or your friend's name or really any name you want, literally just leave it in a comment down below. I look through the comments all the time to find a name to use in a video. So yeah, go ahead and do that. And anyways, right, so John, the subscriber, he told me this story that happened kind of recently. So if you don't know, recently there was like a viral video about the back rooms that went out. It was actually kind of like a mini series done by someone who did a really great job. I'm pretty sure I'll leave a link in the description, or at least some information in the description, so you can go watch that video if you like. But anyways, right, that video was so good that it actually convinced a lot of people that the back rooms were actually real. In fact, I did a video a couple days ago about another subscriber who sent in a story that the back rooms video actually made one of his friends believe it, and I guess he's not alone, because today we have a story from the subscriber about how his friend saw that video, believed the back rooms were real, and had a complete freak out at his sleepover. But anyways, right, so this happened to John, the subscriber, and one day, right, he was just like, chilling with his friends, having a pretty good time. And, we're just going to call this friend the Minecraft kid, because he was just known for, he was like known as like the Bed Wars sweat in the class or whatever. So for that reason, we're just going to call him the Minecraft kid, right? So anyways, right, John, the Minecraft kid, and a couple other of their boys, right, they're going to have a good time. They're excited. They're friends. Life is good. And they want to have a sleepover, right? So yeah, they talk to their parents, and sure enough, that weekend they can have a sleepover. Life is good, man. Things are good. Well, life was good until a couple days before the sleepover. Let's just call it like Wednesday or something. The Minecraft kid discovers the videos in the back rooms. And real quick, for some of you guys who don't know, the back rooms are kind of like an internet legend where you can essentially, like, if you're not careful, you can no-clip, which is a video game term, but basically you can phase out of reality into these endless rooms that are very similar to a kind of a dank, musty 1980s office that just keeps going on and on and on and repeating itself. And that was kind of an internet legend that happened a little while ago, but more recently there was a video that someone made that was like kind of a live, not a live action, but it was like a film project that was really well done. And I suggest everyone watch it. But the thing is, a lot of people watched it, and on the younger side, a lot of people were like, wow, this is actually really believable. And the Minecraft kid was one of those kids. So the Minecraft kid ends up watching this video, and the next day he comes into school, and the subscriber, John, is just kind of chilling there, having a good time, excited for the sleepover that's happening that weekend. And what happens, right, is, his friend comes up to him, the Minecraft kid comes up to him, and John is looking at him. The Minecraft kid's, his eyes are like wide, and the Minecraft kid's like, oh man, I'm so worried. By the way, if you like story videos, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel. It's free, and you can always change your mind later. Anyways, right, so, he comes up to John, he's like, John, oh my god, oh my god. And John just kind of looks at the Minecraft kid like, bro, like, what is up? Like, are you good, man? Like, is everything okay? You're looking really sweaty. Like, are things okay? And the Minecraft kid's like, John, do you know about the back rooms? And John looks at him, he's like, yeah, the internet legend. He's like, no, John, you don't understand, man. These things are real. And John looks at him like, bro, what are you talking about, man? Like, it's like a meme or like an internet legend. It's one of those creepypastas, man. Don't tell me you're gonna say that like every other creepypasta that's ever existed is now real. Oh yeah, Sonic.exe, that's real. Jeff the Killer, yeah, that's real, man. Yeah, anything that's on the internet is real, because lesson 1 of the internet is anything you see is legit. But, John can't convince the Minecraft kid that what he saw wasn't reality, and the Minecraft kid was convinced that, he was like, John, I'm sorry that you're so naive right now, but, it's dangerous, like, and I will convert you, like, you will see the truth. And that was kind of a weird cultish kind of thing to say, but whatever, right? He's like, John, you will see the truth. Like, trust me, I will show you the truth. I will show you the way. And, John's just like, all right, bro, like, whatever. part of like John was thinking that this whole thing was kind of like an elaborate troll by the Minecraft kid. But then again, they were, you know, they are, because not were, this happened recently, they are like in 5th grade, and, you know, John's like not like, you know, he's a 5th grader, but he's still mature enough to know that like internet memes or internet creepypasta, they're not real, man. It's just not true. They're just not real. But the thing is, right, his friend had a bit more of a, let's just call it an active imagination, to put it lightly. And he has kind of done nothing like to this extreme before, but it wouldn't have been completely unbelievable to John, at least, that his friend, the Minecraft kid, would have believed this to be true. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, right, so, you know, John doesn't really think anything more of this, and sure enough, the sleepover comes, and, you know, he completely forgets about this encounter until a little bit later, as you guys will see. But anyways, it's the day of the sleepover, so, you know, everyone's coming over to John's house, and everything is totally normal at first. Like, everything is normal. Like, there's nothing weird. The Minecraft kid is just acting normal, or as normal as the Minecraft kid had ever acted before. And, you know, John really thought nothing of it. And this kind of seemed like there was going to be no story until later that night. So anyways, right, it's whatever. They stay up for a decent amount of time. And, you know, John's mother comes up and says, hey, guys, like, glad you're having fun, but it's probably time for you guys to go to bed. Like, it's getting pretty late. Like, alrighty now. Like, let's just, let's wrap things up here. And they're like, okay, whatever, right? Fair enough. It's like 11 or something, and we're in 5th grade. We go to bed early, whatever. And so, yeah, they're, you know, they're brushing their teeth. They're getting ready. And John is just brushing his teeth when he looks over and sees the Minecraft kid in his room staring at something. And it's just very, very strange. And he doesn't know why he feels so weird about it. But in retrospect, he was 100% on the money. Minecraft kid was up to some nonsense, bro. Real quick, right, so the secret word of the day is backrooms. So comment backrooms, BACKROOMS, 1, 2, 3, maybe 5 times. If, you know, if you're super cool, you'll comment it 5 times. So I'm going to go through and heart a bunch of random people who comment. I can't heart them all at this point. I just have a lot of things going on, and also a lot of comments, which I appreciate. But if you want to, like, you know, up your odds of getting, you know, heart, just comment it more times. Don't do it more than 5 times, though. I don't want YouTube to, like, you know, remove your, you know, your comments or whatever, or ban you from commenting. But I think 5 is a pretty decent number, so comment backrooms in the comments. And anyways, right, so the subscriber John, he doesn't know why he feels so weird about the Minecraft kid kind of staring at something, but in retrospect, it all makes a ton of sense. And John, the subscriber, was 100% on point that something weird was brewing. But anyways, right, so, you know, they brush their teeth, and the Minecraft kid eventually comes into the room and is, like, kind of very quiet for some reason. He's just like weird, and you know, it's John, the subscriber. He just doesn't know why the Minecraft kid is acting so weird and strange, but he really doesn't really think anything of it at the time. He just notices it, kind of makes like a mental note of it, but doesn't think anything of it at the time. In retrospect, makes a ton of sense. And the Minecraft kid, he's just acting weird, and he doesn't, you know, John is like, all right guys, so let's go to bed. And John gets into his bed. And the Minecraft kid and the 2 other guys that are with them, they brought sleeping bags and they plop them on the floor. And, you know, John turns off the lights, and he expects that the next time that he opens his eyes will be, you know, at 7 in the morning or at 9 in the morning or whatever, and to go down and eat some breakfast. But that is not the case, because, you know, he's you know, middle of a dream. John's sitting there just like, you know, enjoying his sleep, and he's like shaking, and he feels like he's moving back and forth. And he looks up, and it's the Minecraft kid. And the Minecraft kid is like sweating and like freaking out a little bit. And John is like really like startled by this, because like your friend just came up to you and is like, you're awoken by your friend shaking you, like something is wrong. And the Minecraft kid, John, is just like, oh my God, like what's up? And the Minecraft kid's like, dude, I told you it was real. And at this point, like John's like, dude, what are you talking about, man? Like, what are you saying? And, you know, the Minecraft kid's like, dude, just come with me, come look. And at this point, like, John's terrified. He has no idea what he's about to show him. And the Minecraft kid brings him out to his hallway and points towards like a door, or like a door to a room, and there's like yellow light coming out of it. And one of the things I'd like you need to know is in the back rooms, it's kind of like that kind of dingy yellow corporate lighting from the 80s, and it just like isn't a good lighting job. But the problem is, right, that's a pretty common light. Like that type of lighting, it's not the greatest and it doesn't look that good. Still is pretty common. That's all I gotta say. It's still pretty common lighting. So yeah, sure enough, the Minecraft kid points at this door and is like, John, the back rooms, they're real. At this point, John is like starting to really wake up and comprehend what's happening. And he realizes that his friend is pointing at one of his rooms in his house that he probably just forgot to turn the light off. And he woke him up terrified, right? Assuming that the back rooms are real and it's proof. And so John is like, dude, that's just, he's like, dude, that's just a room. Like, it's just a room in my house. And John's like, no, it's not. Or not John, the Minecraft kid. So John's like, all right, whatever, dude. And, John goes up into the room, turns off the light, and is like, bro, it's literally just a storage closet. Like, it's nothing. And, this Minecraft kid's like, dude, I'm sorry. I thought it was, I don't know what's up with me. And John, gets, starts feeling a little compassionate first, right? He's like, you know what, man, it's okay. You're probably just like freaking out about something. Let's just go back to the room. Let's try and be quiet just so we don't wake up the other guys. I'm going to go in my closet. I'm going to try and find a night light, just plug it in, and then we'll just all go to bed and things will be good. And John's like, yeah, man, I'm so sorry about this. Thank you. So they go in, right? And sure enough, right, John goes to the closet, turns on the closet light, and then the Minecraft kid starts screaming, the back rooms! No! John, don't fall for it! At this point, the other two kids who were blissfully sleeping are just rudely awoken. And they're just like, oh, God, well, what's happening? And John's like, dude, what are you talking about? And then John looks at the closet, right? And he realizes, because he turned on the light to look for the night light, and he realizes that the light to the closet is the same kind of dingy yellow. And then at this point, right, the Minecraft kid's like, John, it's a trap. Don't fall for it. You're going to fall into the back rooms. No clip out of And at this point, John turns around. He's like, dude, it's just the closet light. At this point, everyone's like looking up. And because they're like, what's going on? What's going on? And John's like, bro, is this what you were staring at earlier? The closet light? And the Minecraft kid is just kind of looking at John like, I'm an idiot. Because at this point, right, the Minecraft kid, who has a very active imagination, to put it lightly, is now very much aware that, both times, and probably more embarrassingly the second time, it was just a lighting choice. It wasn't actually the back rooms, opening up to swallow them whole or anything like that. And yeah, sure enough, the Minecraft kid is just like, yo, bro, I'm sorry. And at this point, like, the other two guys are like, dude, why am I awake right now? Like, it's 12. It's literally midnight, bro. Like, why am I awake right now? And sure enough, like, John is like, all right, whatever. He goes in the closet, turns the light on again because he turned it off to, like, prove it's not the back rooms. And no, the Minecraft kid did not freak out a third time, even though that would be pretty funny. What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new story. Today, we have a story of a spoiled kid who is basically just chirping kids in class the entire time. He spends the entire time chirping kids for being poor. However, thankfully, there is karma in this situation. As always, or not as always, but in good stories, the spoiled kid gets the karma he deserves. When the girl he likes overhears him saying this stuff, and let's just say it gets pretty crazy. So sit back, relax, leave a like in the video to claim your free nothing, and let's just jump right into it. So we're going to call the subscriber who submitted this story Brendan. So anyways, in Brendan's class, it is his first period history class. There's this kid who we're going to call the spoiled kid. And the spoiled kid had parents with a lot of disposable income. And that doesn't necessarily make you a spoiled kid at all, really. I mean, you might be like spoiled with like good stuff or whatever, but if you are genuinely a good person and you understand that your circumstances are not a product of your, I don't know, your ingenuity or your, your hard work, and then let it all go to your head, as long as you're a good, decent person who understands that, you just won the RNG luck lottery, then we're cool. We're genuinely cool if you're a good person. However, if you're like the spoiled kid in this story, then you and I, we got some problems, bro. We got a few problems. And so yeah, this all started on what seemed like a normal day, as these stories always tend to start, when Brendan was in history class. This was the first day of history class in 8th grade. So he gets in there, sits towards the back of the room, as this was just Brendan's preference for where he would sit, right? He kind of liked the back of the room. Look, I pay attention in class, mostly, and I just also happen to like the back of the room. I kind of like the bird's eye perspective, being able to see everyone. It just makes sense to me. But anyways, Brendan was sitting there, and then this kid came into class. He was wearing the Supreme Box t-shirt, which if you don't know, goes for like $500 to $1,000 or something. He was wearing Gucci shoes, like the most blatant Gucci shoes, not like ones that are like, oh, those look nice, and then you see a little Gucci label, you're like, okay. It's the ones that just have the big Gucci logo on them. Bro, I don't know about you, but personally, I've never understood the big logos. I always feel like a little logo, maybe, or just like have it be good quality if you're going to drop some money on it. Just have it look nice, bro. You don't need a big logo, bro. And he came in and he sits down. He's like, what's up, guys? And kind of looks around like my intros to my YouTube videos. No, I'm just kidding. But he's like, what's up, everyone? Like, my name's Spoiled Kid. Brendan looks over. He's like, what's good? My name's Brendan. Some other kids are saying hello. And like, Brendan goes over to shake his hand or like dap him up or whatever they're going to do. And the Spoiled Kid's like, no, thank you. I don't know where those hands have been. And Brendan's just like, dude, what? Like, I'm not like a filthy person. He's like, I don't know. Those shoes say otherwise. And he looks down and look, Brendan's not wearing the nicest, cleanest, fresh out of the box, fresh off the shelf type shoes. But at the same time, bro, they're just a standard pair of shoes. I don't know why he's hating so hard. Why are you hating on my guy like that? But anyways, Brendan is like, okay, this kid's a little weird or whatever. And things would only get worse. So about a weekend, this kid can't, they all go into, first period history class again. And this Spoiled Kid sits down, and he just, he looks at Brendan. He's like, yo, dude. And Brendan's like, what's up? He's like, bro, you're such an NPC.
Are you supposed to have blood come out of your asshole?
Yeah, actually, that's pretty common, man. I wouldn't worry about it. I think my friend has a problem. Anyways, where were we last? I'm gonna have to edit that, bro. Anyways, so he sits down and the Spoiled Kid looks at Brendan. Is like, dude, you're such an NPC. And, Brendan's like, bro, what are you saying? He's like, yeah, you're such an NPC, bro. Because, I looked up your house on Google. It was only, $50,000. And at this point, Brendan's like, dude, what? It's a solid house. I got a bed. I got a couch with a TV. Sure, it's not 10 floors, stories tall, bro. But at the end of the day, does it really matter? And, Brendan was just kind of looking at him. And the Spoiled Kid was like, bro, you're such an NPC for being poor right now. You're such an NPC. And everyone's like, dude, what does that even mean? What are you even trying to say? He's like, bro, you guys wouldn't understand it too, because by the looks of your shoes, you're literally an NPC right now, bro. I don't know what to say. At this point, Brendan's like, looks like someone found the NPC meme. How unfortunate. So anyways, the next day comes in, or a little while later, because if you don't know, this story is very recent. Very recently, there's been a lot of hate on my boy Ohio. My boy's the state Ohio. I've never been. It probably sucks. I'm not gonna lie, but look, it's not the worst. And I don't know if you've ever been in any TikTok comment section or just any comment section. Whenever something is terrible, right? Whenever something is terrible, it's like most normal X in Ohio. So the Spoiled Kid must have found out about the Ohio meme, because Brendan comes in a little while later, and this is a couple weeks ago. This story is actually pretty recent. And he sits down, and the Spoiled Kid's like, bro, is that a stain on your shirt? And Brendan looks down, he's like, oh, crap, I forgot I didn't wash this load or whatever. He's like, yeah. He's like, bro, typical most rich person in Ohio, guys. Am I right? He turns around and looks at people. He's like, guys, do you get the joke? I'm saying he's the most rich person in Ohio because he's super poor. And they're all just looking at him like, bro, I'm gonna need you to shut up real quick, bro. Please. Come on now, please. We don't need to go down like this, man. Because this guy's reputation has been crumbling over the last month. Because they started class in September. It's now October. And this kid has been making for the entire month offhand comments about how poor everyone else is and how they're an NPC, or oh my god, bro, look at those shoes, you're such a bot, lol, or just like the I've spent like 7 minutes trying to explain how annoying the spoiled kid has been. This isn't even the meat of the story. I just think it's necessary for me to spend all this time to explain to you guys why this kid is so annoying and why he deserves what he's about to get, right? So anyways, spoiled kid's like, yeah, Brendan over here is the richest person in Ohio, meaning he's not rich at all. And everyone is just, at this point, everyone is super fed up with this kid. They're all kind of giving him sideways looks of like, bro, first of all, jokes about someone else's like socioeconomic status, especially in situations where they have literally no control, and also you have no control over yours as well. It just doesn't seem like, look, I'm not saying jokes on, I'm not being the joke police here, but jokes are better when they're on something someone can control than something they can't control. There are situations where jokes on something that people can control aren't good. There are just sometimes jokes where things people can't control can be funny. I'm just saying, generally, I'm seeing the jokes about things that people can control are a little bit better, a little bit tamer, a little bit more broadly acceptable, right? Second of all, he's been making the same joke for the last month. Sure, at first he says, oh, Brendan is such a bot. Brendan is such an NPC because his shoes are like lame or whatever. But look, and now he's saying, oh, Brendan, you must be the richest person in Ohio. Look, the joke every single time, every single day, this kid is making the same joke about how Brendan is so poor because he's a bot NPC and from Ohio. Like, bro, at a certain point, it just isn't funny anymore. Like, it wasn't funny in the first place, don't get me wrong. It wasn't funny in the first place, but at a certain point, it just isn't funny at all. Especially, like, even if it was a really clever joke, I don't know if you guys, okay, some jokes, it's funny because it's so unfunny how much you say them, and that's the punchline, but I'm sure you guys know that person. Maybe that kid in your class who just makes the same joke again and again, because the first time, it was kind of clever. You heard it and you're like, oh, he probably definitely ripped that from someone else. Like, that kid's an idiot. No way he actually could have come up with that. But funny joke, nevertheless. Like, okay, cool. And then he says it every single day. Even when people don't respond anymore. People just pretend like they don't hear this kid. I don't know if you have this kid. I definitely know if you like this. People just start pretending like they didn't even hear him say anything because it's just so annoying. You're just like, bro, it wasn't that funny the first time. It's not that funny the second time. And let me just say, it's not funnier the 300th time you said that joke. Right? So this is what the spoiled kid was doing. So after class that day, after he made the Ohio joke, I was about to call him Wallace. That was the subscriber in the last story. Brendan and a bunch of other kids in his class, right? They come together. Or like one kid comes over to Brendan and be like, hey, we're talking about the spoiled kid. Like, you want to come with us? And it's basically all the kids who kind of sit in the middle / back of the class. And they're all coming together because they just find this kid so absolutely annoying that they had to have they had to come together to basically find a way to humble him, right? I've actually had an experience like that. Someone in a class a long time ago was acting so poorly that the entire grade got together. I tried to be as neutral as possible because I was a little bit, no, just kidding. They all came together to try and overthrow this person because they suck so bad, apparently. I'm not even kidding. This happened to me. Maybe I'll tell the story someday, but anyways, right? They all come together after class. They're just like, bro, this kid needs to be humbled. First of all, jokes aren't funny the 100th time, but also the jokes are just calling us poor. Because the thing is, they weren't just calling Brendan poor. He was calling all of them poor. And they're just like, dude, first of all, we're fairly middle class. Like, we have a house. We're able to have, like, we have more than one pair of shoes. Like, a lot of kids are barely rocking one, you know? I got two. That's pretty nice. I'm happy with that. Like, I'm very lucky for that. We're not even, like, that poor. And even if we were, that would actually make it worse, right? The fact that he thinks that makes it worse. And, at this point, they were just like, all right, we got to humble this kid. So Brendan is like, okay, do we know anything about this kid, right? And they're like, okay, we know his parents do pretty well. but I'll actually ask around. So one other kid in that group of kids who kind of came together to try and overthrow Brendan or whatever, we're going to call him Ben. Anyway, so Ben went around and he was kind of just talking to people, be like, hey, do you know anything about whatever, right? And one of Ben's friends, who's a girl, says, oh, actually, I do. The spoiled kid has been trying to get with my friend for the longest time. She has no interest, but she hasn't had the heart to say anything, right? And so basically the spoiled kid has been flirting, and by flirting, I mean legitimately being like, hey, let's come up with a name for her. Dude, I'm just gonna call her Audrey. I use the name either Kate or Audrey. I just think of people from my kindergarten class. Hey, Audrey, I just want to know if you wanted to take a ride on my whip this Friday. She'd be like, no, I'm busy. She's like, she doesn't have the heart to say, no, I'm not doing that, bro. She's always like, no, I got something to do. I'm sorry. Instead of being like, no, I hate you. Because she feels bad. So with this information, Brendan is like, thank you. Do you know anything about the spoiled kid? And, the girl that Ben was talking to was like, well, I mean, I'm not really a fan. From what I've heard, he kind of sucks. And Ben explains to her that he's been tormenting the class that he's in, first period history with Brendan, for the last month, and they need to find a way to humble him. And so, the girl's like, okay, I can think of some stuff. It's going to be a little bit mean, but I definitely have an idea. So she tells Ben the plan, and Ben's like, wow, that's tough. But also, maybe we're just teaching him a life lesson at this point. So anyways, Ben goes back to the group, and Brendan, or they kind of meet up at some point, maybe text message, maybe IRL, doesn't really matter. And Ben explains exactly what they're going to do. So it's going to go something along the lines of this. They're going to use the girl Audrey, right, who the spoiled kid has a crush on. And to get her, right, they're going to basically get her to blow this kid's heart up. I know it sounds bad, but please remember that he's been calling them bots, NPCs, and residents of Ohio because they've been poor, relative to his $3 trillion a month allowance because he woke up every day, every single day in class for the last month. So they just need to ego check him a little bit, right? So the plan is they're going to get Audrey to basically firmly say no. And they're not only going to get her to firmly say no, they're going to get her to explain exactly why she says no. And they're not only going to get her to firmly explain why she exactly says no, they're also going to get her to say it in front of everyone, basically. Because they're going to somehow convince the spoiled kid, right? This is kind of devious, right? This is a little mean. They're going to convince the spoiled kid that he should ask Audrey out at lunch because they all ate lunch in a cafeteria. So he's going to make a big scene about it, and she's going to say it loud enough that people will hear and word will spread. I know this is devious. Comment down below if you think this is justified or not. Because I don't know if it is, but also, I don't know. I'm trying to be impartial here. This is a little extreme, but this kid hasn't been good either. So anyways, next day in class is when the plan is slowly set into motion. So the spoiled kid sits down. He's like, yo, Brendan, you're so from Ohio right now because, you probably don't have a lot of disposable income. I don't know if it was that stupid, but it was, something really lame. And Brandon's like, haha, okay. Hey, man. I heard you got a thing for Audrey. He's like, how did you know? Do you love her? Is she dating you? I will fight you to the death to date her. And Brendan's just like, yo, dude, chill for a second. I'm here to help you. Biggest lie of the century, but whatever, right? He's like, dude, I got some insider information. I got the insider scoop that she has the hots for you, dude. And he's like, oh my God, I totally knew it. I knew that telling her about my whip every single day for a month would totally get her to love me. And in Brendan's head, he's like, wait, you asked her every single day for the last month if she wanted to go on a car ride with you? Do you think maybe the fact that every single day she had a different excuse may or may not have indicated that maybe, just maybe, this is crazy, maybe this is a hypothetical, man, don't take my word for it, but maybe She's not interested. I know, crazy of me to say something. Like, I should really check myself because that is definitely not the case. She is absolutely and unequivocally in love with you at the greatest proportion. Like, there's no question about it. I know I'm an absolute, I'm the crazy person here. I'm insane, right? I'm sorry for even questioning his authority on this. But yeah, Brendan's like, man, I should totally ask her out. Spoiled Kid says that. And Brandon's like, oh, actually, I have the perfect time. So I was actually talking with her friend, and she said that Audrey would really like to be asked out today. He's like, oh my God, should I do it after class? He said, no, wait till lunch. Wait till lunch. She doesn't want you to ask before lunch. He's like, why that specific? And he's like, dude, just trust me this one. Remember, very devious. Leave in the comments down below if you think this is right or wrong, because I don't know. Be the moral police down there. Anyways, and he's like, no. Got to do it at lunch, and it's got to be a big gesture. If you just go over to her and be like, hey, I really like talking to you. Do you want to make this a little more serious? She's going to hate that. She's going to say no, and she's going to start kissing a bunch of ladies instead of guys at this point. You're going to scare her off from guys forever. What you really want to do is you need to make a really big scene. You need to flex all your money and flex all the things that you could give to her and make sure everybody in the cafeteria is paying attention. Brendan almost this is, which is like, it's hilarious because Brendan is giving him the opposite of the good advice, right? In reality, look, okay, you're taking an expert from someone who's not an expert. You're taking advice from someone who's not an expert. I literally clowned people in the last video I posted like 3 hours ago. Like, oh yeah, people with no play are always given the most advice. So take this with a grain of salt. But in my observations, not necessarily my vast experience in the subject matter, you're probably going to want to do option one of just very discreetly but confidently and saying it forcefully, right? That like you've enjoyed spending time together and you want to take it to the next level. And maybe I'm wrong here. I mean, I'm not the expert, clearly. Maybe I'm wrong, but maybe you don't want to make a massive scene and flex all your parents' money to get her to fall in love with you and date you. Maybe. Look, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I could be very wrong. I'm not the expert here, right? So anyways, the spoiled kid agrees 100%. He's like, dude, oh my God, you are so right. I know exactly what I'm going to do. So Brendan's like, cool. They sit down, class continues, and his friend leans over to him and is like, dude, you're such a jerk. And he says it laughingly because he's in on it as well. And Brendan's like, he's got it coming. If anything, I'm just doing him a favor. Real quick, if you made it this far into the video, comment spoiled down below. It's a lot of people are going to guess the secret word, but I've been doing them a little bit farther into the videos just because one of these days for a spoiled kid video, I'm going to say comment hat down below, and I'm going to catch all you people that are commenting spoiled without watching all the way. But in the meantime, collect your free hearts by commenting that down below. Just so you're aware, these videos are on Spotify. The shorts are on TikTok. Submit your own stories, because this is a subscriber submitted story, to my Instagram or Twitter DMs. You need to be following me. Those are in the description. And finally, the best thing you can do to support the channel and help grow the community by pushing these videos out farther in the algorithm is finish watching this video all the way to the end. And then when you're done with it, the best thing you can do is watch another one of my story videos, which you can look on the sidebar, YouTube recommended. But a really easy way is my Storytime playlist, which is in the pinned comment down below. Enough promos or whatever. I mean, leave a like for your free nothing, of course, but let's just jump right back into it. So anyways, it's officially lunchtime. It's the moment you've all been waiting for. So Brendan is sitting down with his friends, and they made sure that they were going to sit down near Audrey, and they briefed Audrey on everything. They told, because look, Audrey is a good-hearted girl. So they needed to explain to her in great detail why what she is doing is morally the right thing. They needed to explain to her, right? They basically had to explain to Audrey that, exactly what this kid was doing, that this kid's ego was really puffed up by something that really wasn't going to help him in the future, aka bragging about how much his parents make, because that will not help you at all, especially further on you get in life. It's not just a detriment to him socially now, it will be later on. And the fact that she will strike him down for flexing too hard will actually give him such an important life lesson that he will probably thank all of them later on and take them all out to a fancy dinner. Sure, was Brendan kind of sugarcoating the situation? Was he kind of manipulating it a little bit to be like, you would be morally doing the wrong thing if you didn't do this? Yeah, maybe Audrey was not the girl who thought about things the hardest, and she kind of just went along with anything that sounded correct. Sure, these are all possibilities. But what matters are the facts. And the facts are that she knew exactly the script to say, and she was going to follow it to a T. So sure enough, Brendan, Wallace is the last guy's name. Brendan and his friends, they sit down close to where Audrey's sitting. And they watch as the spoiled kid enters the room. He enters the room in a very interesting manner. Because the spoiled kid brings in a sound speaker system. So you already know that it's about to go down, bro. You already know this is about to be pretty freaking crazy, dude. So yeah, sure enough, he's walking up and he has like a wheelbarrow. Bro's dragging a wheelbarrow into the lunchroom right now. And on top of the wheelbarrow, or in the wheelbarrow, I should say, or the wagon, I guess it's more of a wagon than a wheelbarrow, let's be correct here. He has the sound speaker, so a big old speaker or whatever, and attached to it is a microphone. So you already know where this is going, bro. You already know that it's going downhill. So yeah, he walks over to her, and he stops in front of her, and Audrey looks a little freaked out because she was expecting that he was about to go crazy, but they were not expecting, or she was not expecting, or I guess Brendan and his friends were not expecting this either, for him to go this psycho insane, what is even going on right now moment. So he speaks into the microphone, "Attention everyone!" The entire room goes silent. Because dude, if anyone screams "attention everyone" into a microphone that's attached to a loudspeaker that they're wheeling in with a wagon in the middle of lunch, bro, I'm paying attention. I don't know about you, but I'm shifting my head over, needing to know if I'm about to hear some crazy stuff, which normally will follow in a situation like this. But he's like, "I just wanted to list off all the reasons why Audrey should go on a date with me." And he was about to just completely shoot himself in the foot. Because he's like, "Reason number 1, I have access to really cool cars. And Audrey, I would be able to take you on the coolest rides ever, and I guarantee this. Reason number 2, I will be able to bring you to really nice restaurants. I will actually be able to bring you to restaurants that all these other guys, the ones without the money like I have, would not be able to bring you to. Reason number 3, if we were to get married, I would never have to do anything and you would never have to do anything because I live off of a massive trust fund that you would live off of too. Of course, we're signing a prenup. I mean, you can't be serious right now, guys. Reason number 4, and in the middle of reason number 4, Audrey gets up and takes the microphone out of his hand. And he says, "Oh, perfect. You're going to say yes early. I didn't even get through the rest of my 15 reasons." And when Brendan hears this, he's like, "Bro really wrote down 15 reasons about why his dad was rich, bro. Like, that's crazy." Probably reason number 13 was that he'd add him on his American Express Platinum plan or something, bro. Like, I'm sure it's something like that. But anyways, right, she takes the microphone. And, Brendan was looking at her. And you could tell that Brendan was expecting to get a positive, an affirmative, to get a "Yes, Brendan. Oh my God, I'm so in love with you. I could go down on one knee or both knees right now. Oh, Brendan, I love the part. My favorite part was when you said your dad had a lot of money. So I was like, yeah, dude. Yeah." So that was not what she said. Believe it or not, that was not the quote that, came out of her mouth. I know you're probably surprised by that. But Audrey, in fact, said, "Brendan, I'm going to have to say no." And there was a gasp that went around the room. Not that people were shocked by this. No, because they probably would have gasped even harder if she said yes. But just the fact that she said that into the speakerphone, like she was kind of told by Brendan that she had to say no really loudly and list her reasons really loudly. But the spoiled kid kind of came in clutch and saved the day for not him, for everyone else but him, by bringing in like a speaker system type thing so that Audrey could just like speak normally and have everyone hear. And Audrey very intentionally said the following into the speaker system so that everyone could hear it. She's like, Brendan, the only qualities you've put forward are about like the money that your parents made and that you have access to. Those are not qualities that people want in boyfriends. Those are not qualities that people want in friends. Those are not qualities that people want or like want alone in like acquaintances or classmates. And she goes on a list like that. And she's like, Brendan, you have not displayed to me an ounce of originality, personality, anything that has to do with you. Everything that you've shown off to me as a reason why I should date you is a byproduct of your parents' work and not your own. It seems to me that your personality is completely inflated. It seems to me that your ego is inflated by the work that was done by your parents that you reap the rewards of. For that reason, I will not go on a date with you until you become a better you. She was really trying to make this a positive spin, but bro, this turned out to be a crazy burn. Like she could have definitely gone harder, but that was low-key a good message. But imagine this kid's reaction or just the embarrassment when the girl that you ask out in it, because the thing is, I think the spoiled kid went really hard because, remember, let me know in the comments if this is morally good or not, when Brendan was like, dude, she's into you, and she's only going to be into you if you go super hard, right? If you really go all out. He probably wouldn't have even gone all out like that if, one, he didn't, well, first of all, he probably wouldn't have even like fully asked her out instead of just asking her on a car ride if he didn't know that she was into him, quote unquote, right? It's not really. But also, he definitely would not have brought it, or maybe he would have, but it's unlikely that he would have had a loudspeaker and done such a crazy show of whatever if like he wasn't told that, yeah, Audrey's only gonna say yes if you show a really insane, if you go really crazy basically and just shout out all the reasons why she should love you. That's the only reason why. So immediately after, right, she hands the microphone back to Brendan. And Brendan is just like standing there because bro was lined up for a victory. Bro was lined up for a softball, a swing that just connects. Oh, it's perfect. It's beautiful. But no, he got played. He got owned. And immediately, he turns to Brendan, the guy who said she's going to say yes. And she's only going to say yes if you make a big scene out of it and tell her all the things that you can give her, aka all the money you have. That's the only reason why she's gonna say yes. And the spoiled kid makes eye contact with Brendan, and low-key Brendan feels a little bad because you can tell by his eye contact this kid is basically looking at him like, why would you betray me, bro? I thought we were boys. I thought we had something. Come on, man. I thought we had something. And but Brendan, after feeling bad for a millisecond, remembers dude is the richest person in Ohio, aka he's poor lol. For the last month, he's like, okay, well, I'm actually doing something good for the big picture. So the spoiled kid, defeatedly and slowly, I don't know why he wouldn't skirt out of there, bro. If I was in that position, which I hope I never will be, like, what? But imagine I was in that position. I would be skirting out there as quickly as possible, but the spoiled kid was practically dragging this thing behind him as he slowly walked out, defeated, head down, Jungle by Egg Boogie playing in his ear pods. I don't even know, bro. Walking out mad slow, walk of shame, bro. If I was in his position, I would be sprinting out of there. I'd be already trying to figure out how to transfer middle schools, bro, because that's it for me. Rip, GG, we're done. So yeah, actually from that point on, or it's been like 2 weeks since this happened because this is a really recent story. But the spoiled kid, first of all, he doesn't talk to Brendan or the other guys in his class anymore, probably because he feels betrayed. But also, he's not gunning them. He's not saying, oh, richest person in Ohio right here. Dude, you're a bot for being poor, lol. None of that's happening anymore. So honestly, only time will tell if this actually impacted him in a positive way, or if this is going to turn him into even more of a monster than he was before. So I guess we'll find out. Moral of the story is,
Just be a good person, I guess. And let me know in the comment section down below if you think what Brendan Dunn did was morally correct. And today we have a story of a spoiled kid who gets the karma he deserves. I know you'll enjoy it, so let's jump right into it. Subscribe if you're new, and yeah, let's call the subscriber who submitted this story Jeremy. So anyways, Jeremy went to school with this kid who we're just going to call the spoiled kid. And this kid was the spoiled kid because, as always, he always got everything he ever wanted. His parents did have a lot of money, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're immediately a spoiled kid or an entitled kid. There's a lot of people who, I know, and their parents do pretty well. However, they're good people, and it doesn't necessarily need to mean that they're bad people. However, the spoiled kid totally let his parents' success get to his head, which explains the following actions. So this all happened one day. It all seemed like a normal day, as these stories normally do. Jeremy was just hanging out with his friends, might have been in class or first period or something like that. And that's when the spoiled kid walks in with his new designer shoes. Are these the new Gucci, Yeezy, Saint Laurent X Supreme Brick shoes? Maybe. Did they also go for $1,000? Maybe. Either way, it doesn't matter exactly what the shoes are. All you gotta know is that the spoiled kid is immediately flexing them. Like the way he walks into class, he is like strutting in a certain way so that like he can show off the label of the shoe as much as possible. So instead of walking in like a normal person and kind of like, trotting in or doing whatever, he's like flexing his foot so it's like as flat as possible and kind of shaking it around to get people's attention so that they will look at his shoes. So then when they look at his shoes, they will see the label and be like, oh my God, he spent $1,000 on shoes. He must be a great person. Dude, I don't totally understand what he was going for with that, but either way, he went for it. He tried to do whatever he was doing, and he was walking in and he was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna be so cool. Everyone's gonna love me because I have these expensive shoes on. Yeah. So anyways, Jeremy and his friends notice this, and Jeremy turns to his friend. He's like, bro, once again, the spoiled kid is trying to do what the spoiled kid always does. Basically, come in, flex his, like, whatever new thing, because, like, he did this a while ago with his new Supreme shirt or whatever, right? He's like, yeah, man, I just spent so much money on X or Y or whatever. He comes into class, he shows it off to everyone. Everyone doesn't care, as always. He gets upset about it and then realizes that, the real way